Now, a unique veterinary practice wants to help you discover the path to a harmonious bond with your furry companion, one paw at a time, leaving anxiety behind. We've got a couple of station pets. We've got Benny Abbott and Penny Noel, along with their humans. We've got Dr. Adele Hilliard here from Feeling Positive Veterinary Behavioral Solutions. And welcome. It's good to have you. And thanks for bringing the stars to the show, Alex Catherine.
She will get a paycheck, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So you go beyond the traditional veterinary practice. You get into areas like enrichment. So before we get into this exercise, what do we need to know about dog enrichment? Why does it matter?
Both physical and mental enrichment are so important. It helps to reduce anxiety, destruction, helps them to get out normal behaviors, all those great things.
Any of these dogs anxious or destructive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anxious.
So let's get into this. Let's talk about physical enrichment.
Yeah.
You brought some things that we can kind of work with or find similar items at home.
So physical enrichment, most people think about walking, but it can be anything from playing with toys to throwing fetch in the backyard. Some dogs don't enjoy walks, and that's totally fine. We can do lots of things with them that gets that energy out that they really need to. That's very beneficial.
So what's going on with Penny right now? She's hearing this crinkling.
She's hearing the crinkling. There's the squeaker in here. So anything that's going to engage their interest. What do you think, Penny? Penny's like, I'm not having any of that. He's here for the snacks.
Are we all?
But yes, these can be great, options to do some physical bonding with your dog too.
Yeah.
And you let it kind of go because you're worried about enrichment for everybody else, but your dog needs some things, so don't forget those toys.
Yes.
And then there's also the mental enrichment that you can get creative with.
Mental enrichment, I think, is probably, and this is probably Penny's favorite thing that she's going to get.
Yeah.
Is probably one of my.
What can we give Benny over on this side?
We'll give Benny that right there. Most important thing, because it's going to let them use that mental energy to really work towards doing something. I usually use food with these. As you can see, there's lots of different things here. We've got some chicken treats inside that they can knock around. This is called a Kong wobbler, where we put things in.
And as we're seeing on screen, Benny right now eating out of that one. Give us the overview. When he's going through there, it's not just laid out for him. He's got to get creative. He's got to find the entry. He's got to work at it. Same with Penny over there.
There are blueberries in there too.
Yep, blueberries in there. I love doing peanut butter, blueberries, pumpkin is great, canned dog food. And it doesn't have to be expensive.
Yeah.
I love this. I take an egg carton that is the bottom part. There's no ink on it. Spread peanut butter on it. Put whatever you want. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. We don't have to spend lots of time and money on this, but they can pull this apart, sniff, do all those good things. She's loving this right there.
Oh, she's obsessed.
But their brain is working just like a toddler needs to learn and do art and clay, and it's the same thing for them. So
we want to keep their wheels turning. We want to keep them engaged because that makes them just, happier in the household, right?
It does. And when they're anxious, when we have a big storm or fireworks, we can set them up in a place and they can do this instead of worrying about what's happening outside, which is great.
And some of these toys look like you added to them. This used to just be kind of a hexagon Kong.
This literally is just pieces of fabric. You can roll treats up inside, stuff them in, and dogs can have so much fun with this. They can snuffle them out and pick them out.
Benny's not going to be too interested in this. Either is Penny.
No, they're not just peanut butter.
But
if you put treats inside that, they'd be a lot more interested in that.
Treat driven, and we all love our dogs. We want to take the best care of them possible.
Yes.
Talk to us about what happens at Feeling Positive Veterinary Behavioral Solutions. What makes it special? What makes it unique?
Yeah, so we're the only veterinarian in the state specializing towards behavior. The closest one I think is probably Asheville, and then UGA after that. We really focus on the mental health, almost like a psychiatrist for people, and we look into the medical aspect of it too.
Let's do something fun. You haven't obviously spent a whole lot of time with these animals, but their humans are mic'd up. Is there anything about Benny's anxiety at home, weird stuff that he does that you've wanted to ask somebody like Dr. Hilliard?
He licks his tail when he gets anxious.
Okay.
It's so wet.
Yes.
And gross.
Yeah.
So he's a tail licker.
He's a tail licker.
What
do about that?
When he gets nervous.
So usually excessive licking can be a sign of an underlying GI disorder. So this is where the medical side of this comes in. So we would do a workup of that. But also we look at the situations of where it's happening. Can we avoid the triggers that cause it in the first place? So if it's only happening when we hear certain noises or certain people, we talk about how do we get around that. And then if medication helps, we talk about that too. But we look into that underlying medical stuff. So.
Benny's taken this in. Like to be proactive, and Catherine, Penny has become. You talked about how she's out and about with confidence these days. She's not so neurotic.
More. Yeah, we adopted her from Carolina Poodle Rescue when she was 9 months old, so we didn't get the puppy stage with her.
Yes.
So we got her, and she was kind of like people. Like she was used to being around all these other dogs at a farm. So I think we're still trying to get her, like, she's a little shy when she meets someone at first. Like, the tail will sometimes go down, and like after she meets you once though, it's normally fine, and the more she's around you, she's obsessed with you, and she's giving you hugs and jumping on you, and it, but I think that's where her anxiety comes from. She's really smart. She's kind of weirdly human-like sometimes.
The hardest part actually is the people.
Yeah.
Versus the animals, because we all want to go up to them and give them so many snuggles, but there's a lot of introverted dogs, just as are introverted people. So having a way to tell them, sometimes I'll have people put like a flag on the leash that says, do not pet without asking, so that we're not just rushing up to that dog and letting them not be so afraid of that interaction. So
well, we love the insight and that people can come to you and learn more. So we will put information on screen. Thank you so much for this, Dr. Hilliard. We appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Positive Veterinary Behavioral Solutions is located at 217 West Stone Avenue. You can follow them on social media to learn more. And we've got a link to learn more on accesscarolina.com. Thanks, Dog.